in this discussion there is another question which is very important, which is what is the purpose of this code? Because this project of the code from 2008 was, in my opinion, was a law disguised in a guide. It was a temptation, a very big temptation to regulate the activity of the evaluators. And I would say that we cannot compare evaluation with psychology because psychology is a regulated profession, and this code is part of a system which gives you the right to practice the particular occupation, which is not the case with the
profession.
not yet. So this is not the case with the evaluation. But
and what's the difference between what it is?
These are not regulated professions, so you cannot impose from top to down a code. But what I feel as a person with a very little experience in evaluation is that I should find also support in this code for myself in front of somebody who would try to impose me other values than mine. So it has to be also, it's not only a way to impose, as the professor said, Professor Mureșan said, an instrument to impose quality assurance. It should be an instrument who helps also the evaluators to stand vertically in front of somebody who would try to convince you to do something which is against your values. Because this happens. I don't know, I don't have much experience, but it happened to me. And I think such an organization as a Evaluators Association has to be also the support body to help you to remain vertical in a world which is not very ethical. So I think the discussion about what is the purpose of this code, what kind of values we want to protect, it's also important. At least this is what I feel.
I think it should be the evaluator's interest to have a guideline or a code that defines their own professional identity. I don't think it is a matter of others.
Yes.
I think it is a matter of the evaluators themselves. It's a kind of a document that says who you are.
But the question is, do evaluators outside ADER want to have a common document or not? This is my question.
You could negotiate with them only the principles, not the rules. The rules could differ, but the principle could be the same.
But why to negotiate? I don't understand, Professor. You are confusing me now. You said that one of the characteristics of the ethical code is impartiality. So, talking about this characteristic, I could say that if there are other interested actors or organizations dealing with evaluation, why not to have a common approach? Why to negotiate? What?
No, I'm speaking.
It's not an issue of negotiation here.
About various communities of evaluators who are looking for a code together.
But
and the question was if some will accept our code or our proposal. I think we have to discuss one the other and to negotiate the final form, to agree if you don't want to negotiate, to agree a final form. But I don't believe that at the level of details of special rules we have to impose.
Only
to all the same rule, because the organizations are different perhaps.
Yes, they have different evaluation styles and they should
there could
apply
be
the principles as they want.
rules, but also different rules. But the principles, I guess, could be the same if we made an effort.
It's an interesting point, and it's something we should investigate. And I'm glad you raised it, because when we made the guidelines, we had a committee that worked on it, a small committee of 4 people. And then we sent it out to all our members. We have about 80 members. And they sent back comments. And then we revised it. But of those 80 people, I mean, there's a core of 50 who are always members. And then there's a rotating maybe 60 that some years they're members, some years they're not members. So there are about twice as many evaluators practicing than are in our organization. Like Judith said, it gives them an identity, a sense of belonging, and a professional sense to say, this is the way we do our business, and this is what we expect. And it's like drawing up expectations of what you...
my option also, but I didn't want it to put it there in the first place. I thought that this document should be like an image of our association, and who wants to join this image, okay, who doesn't want, it's okay. And then you can present yourself when you
It's not
want
taking
to
or leave it in a profession experience.
Yeah, but it
No,
offers
it's a
you a
matter of
sense
choice.
of belonging.
Yes.
It offers you to be able to stand and say, I belong to a community, a professional community
Of course.
that follows codes or whatever
And
we
because
call
you-
them. And it's a choice that it's a choice of freedom.
And
You make the choice. Either you are part of that community or not. And you decide, it's your decision, private decision. And I think that it gives you what we get is somehow that we will observed or perceived as more professional, and the way that evaluation is being perceived by others. And this is something I don't know if I explained it clearly, but it gives you some basis or something, reference or inner.
I think most of the people were yesterday
Yeah.
here. And Mrs. Rosenstein started to speech, her speech. Okay. What was the first thing she put on the screen?
Who?
You remember? I think everybody.
A picture.
Yes, the sketch. That sketch. That is the code. The essence of the code.
Yeah.
You want is the governance who you want to follow your rule.
And
I'm
also
going to change.
that you believe in what you are doing. You deliver that belief.
I think that is a good picture of this.
Thank you.
It's a good one.
Just a clarification.
Also the carrot.
We are 383 lobbyists in Romania now, and we set up the lobby core body, and the rules will be set up in time because it's a living process. It's important to clarify first of all the society what it wants, because society sometimes is
Okay,
not
but
some.
now we're talking about evaluation.
Yes, okay.
If you have something to...
I think that this is the best solution, because this way the problem of imposing the code is solved. And the people who want to use this image in order to have a stand in the profession will feel obliged to follow the code, because otherwise the association can say, you broke the rules, you cannot use our name anymore. So they will apply it.
Oh, it's very difficult. This one, broke the rules and we are not using ours. It's very difficult under the Romanian legislation.
And another thought I wanted to share with you, I would like to share with you, is when a profession or a field or whatever is started, few people are dealing with it. And the need for codes, whichever codes, is being raised, because also in Israel, suddenly what was very clear for us, how to behave, how to conduct, the professional principles that we should follow, wasn't so clear to the new people that came to this profession, okay? And then we just faced so many dilemmas, started to face, and sometimes we were amazed that people were acting in the way they did that contradicts our belief, ethical beliefs or whatever. So this is the time when we really started to grow, to sit down and think what is right, the right act or...
I just wanted to add to that in teaching evaluation, and I've taught evaluation at the university, if you come in and the students sit there, you bring them this flyer, which is in the bag over there, and you show them these are the guidelines for the profession that you're studying. It's a great help to discuss them, and it helps to professionalize the profession, because you use it as a teaching tool as well, and that's very helpful.
And you use critical thinking towards this. It's not the God that gave us the Ten Commandments. This is something which we created, but it can be changed. It's not something final. We should discuss and be critical about it.
Yes, and thank you for those comments. There's another aspect of this problem for whom do we write this document. Some of the documents refer only to evaluators, but your document refer also to commissioner, evaluation participants, and self-evaluators. And
It's there.
It's there.
I'm sorry. You see that my laptop, the case is under the projector. And in the side pocket, I have the flyers.
I think this is the best way, because when the other actors of the evaluation are not prepared for this process, the evaluation has to suffer.
Sorry. This is what we produced. This is the Hebrew version, and we have an Arabic version like this. So it's a very nice paper. So when you go for your first meeting to do the evaluation, when you go in and you want to tell them what you do, you take this with you. So they see it, and it gives you more status, means you come from a group of professionals, and each page is addressed to a different, the evaluator, the commissioner, and the participants, and with a description of what this document is. And it doesn't obligate them to do this, but these are general guidelines to raise the level of evaluation. That's the idea. And I think it's good if you don't have just this long document with 1 million paragraphs, but you have something that you can say, this is how we work. And I would hope that people use it. We haven't done that survey yet. We should. We should ask how many people have ever seen this.
Best instruments to...
Right, so this is, it's good for us because it has our logo on it. And it's guidelines, it's a good thing. The English version is not this pretty.
Can we see it from a small distance?
It's in Hebrew.
It's in Hebrew.
It's like a page.
I think it might be interesting to actually have I'm brainstorming with you, a sort of a combined version, let's say 5 principles for everybody, and then maybe for categories. Like
This
some
is the way I saw with
just some impartiality and whatever for everybody, all 4 categories, and then maybe more customized or more for each of the 4 cases.
Can I deliver?
Yeah, we have one that is going
Well, this is the English.
So in terms of presentation, maybe it's easy.
The same.
It's on the site.
It's on the
It's on the site.
It's on the
I
side.
don't have it.
It's officially. We have also on the site.
Ah, poi,